Defensive hand positioning for MMA. Obviously, I think rule number one when it comes to MMA, don't be static, don't be standing in the same spot, keep moving, keep your head moving. But obviously people get tired, and sometimes we've got someone that's really good, and we don't want to get caught with shots. One of the biggest mistakes people make is what I like to call static defense. So they come into MMA with a boxing style defense, which doesn't work very well. Number one, because in boxing you've got big gloves that cover a lot of your face. Now you've got MMA gloves, you've got to keep your hands open. If I'm just going to stand like this, if you look from the side, I've got this big opening over here, I've got opening over here. If I'm standing like this, uppercuts. Probably the most underutilized punch in MMA is uppercuts. I mean, this gap over here is bread and butter. This whole space over here is totally open. You know, if you look at my hand positioning, this is where MMA guys tend to defend. Or they do this, they cover the whole hand. Goodness knows why they're defending the back of their head. I don't know, but if you saw my previous tutorial on hand positioning for boxing, same principle applies. And that is small movements create small openings, big movements create big openings. If my hands are too high, if I'm trying to protect the back of my head for some reason, you can see everything opens up. My hand positioning needs to be small movements, boom. I've got to be practical with my hands. Obviously MMA, another underutilized punch in MMA, body shots. Everybody is naturally, your natural reflex, your flinch reflex is this here. And when I do that there, everything over here opens up. So all of these things start carrying over into how you should defend your hand to avoid leaving openings. So the passive defense, like I've just explained, is this here, like I'm just covering. Whoever's attacking me is going to have freedom of choice. They can go, yeah. The uppercuts or hooks on either side. The only place they can't punch is where my arms are. So by having a static defense, I'm leaving static holes for them to capitalize on. I don't want static holes. I want active holes, what I like to call active defense. Your defense needs to be active. Your defense needs to be moving. Your defense needs to be busy. By having a busy defense, you're not leaving any long-term holes where your opponent can capitalize or set up. So one of the ways that I like to teach an active defense is obviously if you're moving backwards to use this here. Now how this works and how this becomes effective is number one, I'm not leaving any set holes as I'm moving. So my holes are constantly changing, my openings are changing, so a lot harder to capitalize on. But more importantly, and this is where it becomes effective, is as I'm moving, boom, boom. If you see the way I'm moving, my shoulders are rolling. Okay, so as I move, whoop, whoop, I can come, bah. So as I move, there, bah, 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 bah. As I'm moving backwards, I can use the load of my defense, boom, boom, straight up the pocket, boom. I use that active defense. You can see my elbows are coming down, defending my body. Everything's staying tight. If I'm closer, look at my movement. There. Bah, 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 bah. There. Bah, 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 bah. If you want to be overly aggressive and you're coming forward with an active defense, especially as in pro MMA, it's all there. Boom. Bah, 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 bah. So you can use it very effectively in avoiding leaving openings. But also because you're so active, you're creating load, which is going to allow you to come back with counters. If I'm just static, my shoulders are square. For me to throw a punch now, I need to pull back. When I pull back, open myself up, that's when I get caught. But if I'm constantly moving, boom, look, ready, straight down the pipe, straight up the pipe, boom, there, straight into my hook. I start capitalizing, make that defense as active as possible. Practice it, drill it, get comfortable letting your feet learn how to move with your arms. Get your feet and arms to sync together. If you see my head's constantly, I can constantly move, boom. Keep that active, that defense active. Remember, keep the chin down. You've got MMA gloves on. You cannot defend like a boxer. You're an MMA fighter. Defend like an MMA fighter. Cheers.